Ooh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Ooh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Ooh, I tell her, yeah. And she gon' work that round. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. Now my phone be blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she in next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin static. I be straight up like an addict, might be coming at it. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it now, I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one sec, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, then you know what's next, stay. You been rockin' with it all-star, baby. And I know you coming early like a false-star, baby. Packing out to see this ain't no hostile, baby. And they know me in the city like a mob star. I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her, yeah. Work that mouth.
Yeah, head up in the clouds, thought they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen him down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mill, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Told him come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And sometimes, I don't know, what time was it this morning? Like 11:20? Sometimes when Bitcoin's pumping, we'll give you a live stream in the morning. But what is going on, Mafia? And we got a lot to talk about today as we have the rate cuts incoming, along with a whole lot of volatility likely to follow. I want to take a look at where we sit right now with price, talk about my trades, and kind of why we were expecting price to be here. Shout out to Tony D. He actually sent me a clip of our live stream, I think from last week. If you guys have been following along with the technical analysis, you will know we have been looking for this move up to about 61 to 62K. And we are now playing with this extremely, extremely critical level of resistance. Are we going to be able to crack right through it? Or are we going to get that harsh rejection? I want to take a look, or I want to talk about kind of what we could expect tomorrow with these rate cuts. Can we even confidently expect something, or should we just be sitting on our hands? I'm going to break all that down for you guys. But first, shout out to Crypto Anon, shout out to Crypto Billy, Rob the Crypto, Tyler Durden, Chemistry Bro. You guys know who the mods are. Go ahead and show them some love in the chat. And let me just shut the studio door really quick. Give me 2 seconds. I think that was like 2.5 seconds. But there we go. Shout out to the mods, guys. We got, let's see what else we got in here. Don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some free chances to win some crypto, free crypto, on Friday's live stream. And if we get 550 likes on tonight's live, I will give away some of these Frankie Candles hats. Maybe we'll give away 3 of them if we hit that $550 like goal. Maybe we'll give away $550 too. I don't know. But yeah, smash that like button if you guys enjoy the content. Shout out to Crypto Maxi. What is going on, bro? He says free. Shout out to you. K Diggity says fan check. Fan is on. Shout out to K Diggity. Thank you for that, bro. You might have just saved a blackout right there. Shout out to K Diggity. K Diggity, you are the official fan checker of the live stream now. Shout out to K Diggity. But we got Scott Miller in the chat. Good to see you in here, bro. We got Wayne C checking in for reporting for duty for the Candle Mafia. We got French Toaster. What is going on, bro? We got Alfonso in the chat. Says bing bong. Shout out to you, bro. Let's see. We got Pressure Drop, Hamza, Goldavelli. We got the whole Mafia in here tonight. Let's get it. And shout out to Tony D. Tony D called me last night after the stream, and he was like, bro, what? I don't know what was going on. And I was like, I was trolling you, bro. We were trolling you. Shout out to Tony D. But yeah, shout out to Melissa. What is going on? Amy Lives Crypto. What is up? Thank you for tuning in. We got Anna Maria. Reaper says, yo, what is going on? Hats. Shout out to Gas Top. Welcome in, bro. Good to see you. We got the Godfather in the chat. Show some respect, guys. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the charts and some trades and kind of what we could potentially expect here in the near future for Bitcoin. Let's see. Shout out to Dinah said, what's up, bro? Thanks for going live. No problem, bro. I'm just out here doing what I love every single day. Happy to have you in here. CandleMafia your life. Shout out to Elite Ways. Let's go. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on in there, guys, and see if we can predict this thing's move, or next move, I guess. It's going to be hard. Tomorrow's going to be hard, guys, but let's check it out. So, as you guys know, since last week, right, I could actually put a day on this. Since actually Sunday was when I updated the premium Discord, looking for that 90-minute money flow crossover into the green, making us anticipate a bit of a move up here. There were kind of two things we were looking at. The 90-minute money flow crossover with that daily green dot, we went over this yesterday, was kind of the first thing we were looking at to anticipate a reclaim of this value area low, and then look for that move back up to the POC, and then eventually back up to the value area high. And if you guys watched the live stream last week, you will know the next targets that we were looking at, again, were that $59,000 POC, as well as the, there's many levels up here. And I want to talk about why it's so critical that we must get above these levels if we want higher prices for Bitcoin. There are specific levels I'm looking to flip. However, if we can get above the, here we are, right, at the value area high. And not only were we looking for 59K, but that real zone was between $61,000 and $62,000, where not only we had this value area high, but before we talk about the resistance up there, I want to talk about what we look at to actually see that move come in, right? Because the point of these live streams is to show you guys how we predict the price so you can then hop on the charts and potentially get into some trades of your own. And speaking of trades, I'm going to bring up my long right in a second. I won't bring it up right this second, but I'll bring it up in a minute here. But as we were looking for this, 90-minute money flow crossover was the thing to make us look for that reclaim of the value area low, move to the POC, and then up to the value area high. And with that being said, another thing we were looking at on the higher time frames to kind of anticipate that bigger move up was that 2-day green dot. And shout out to Tony D. He sent me a clip from the live stream. I was going to show it, but it's going to take too long, and I'm going to pull it up, and we're going to watch it in 2x speed. But you can go back there, Tony, if you want to drop the link so you guys can kind of see what we were looking at. But, one of the major things we were looking at was that 90-minute money flow crossover, as well as that 2-day green dot, looking to print after we got that 90-minute money flow crossover, started getting a move back up. We said if we get that green dot on the 2-day, we could see that continued retracement to the upside. However, based off the 3-day money flow, we do have to potentially anticipate this to be a, lackluster retracement to the upside before putting in a lower high and continuing down to lower prices. Now, again, this is still in the cards, but we're going to get into that in just a second because there is a bullish case, there is a bearish case, and to be honest with you guys, I am long from 58K. Send you a screenshot in Discord. Shout out to Tony D. Let me just pull up my face cam here. I just want to pull it up just so you guys can kind of have an idea. It should ring a bell here. Let me go ahead and screenshot this really quickly because the volume profiles, guys, have absolutely played out. Once again, it's absolutely insane. So if I go ahead and let me go ahead and get out of Discord here real quick. And if we pull that up, right, this is from Tony D. Could you put a date on, or does it say? Do we have it here? No date on this, but Tony, when was this live stream? I know it was from last week, but let me know when. But as you guys know, right, this was the value area that we've been looking at for, since that 90-minute money flow crossover, looking for that flip of the low into the golden pocket, the POC, and then the value area high. And very simply put, I just want to put this out there, right? Because again, the point of this live stream is to be very educational and teach you guys how to go out there and catch your own fish, right? I want to give you guys the fishing rods, and I want to show you where to go to fish, but I want to teach you how to make money yourself, so you can, make money whether the price is going up or down every single day. You're going to lose some money some days. It's not going to be every single day, but you get the point. But this is the volume profile, right? And we just saw this play out perfectly. We came up to 59K, right? We kind of bing-bonged around there, and then, as we look for that 2-day green dot, that was kind of what we were looking at to get that push up to 60 to 62K. And that is the real key level of resistance, and you guys can see. I just want to show this play out, right? I don't. Second screenshot shows the date, September 10th. Oh, shout out to Tony. There was 2 screenshots there, but that first one was actually what I was looking for, so that's perfect. Thank you, bro. But shout out to Dave Digital checking in, reporting for duty. What is going on, Dave? Good to see you in here, bro. But yeah, September 10th. So that was. Yeah, so I was like a while ago. It took us a while. We kind of wiggled around for a bit over here, right? We kind of spent we spent a good amount of time once we reclaimed the value area, kind of just going sideways. But once again, you see those volume profiles play out. Shout out to Jesse. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the super chat. He said, dancing on the Fibonacci levels. Let's go. Shout out to Jesse. Let's go. I love the 4-leaf clover. I'm just picturing a leprechaun dancing on a golden pocket with his pot of gold on his golden pocket. Shout out to Jesse. Thank you for that super chat, bro. Trader NZ says, I get confused with so many volume profiles. And yeah, right, because you can pull volume profiles anywhere you want, right? Like, I look at the major ranges, and then I will break down things into lower time frames, right? So there were actually a few different profiles that I was looking at in this context. We were looking at this profile here, which helped us catch this long, which I am in right now, and I will pull that up in a second, right? But, these volume profiles are, like, literally the most powerful tool you could possibly use. I say this time and time again. It's a free tool you could use on TradingView. We will be making some new tutorials on this in our beginner series. I think I'm going to run over support and resistance first, and then we'll kind of get into volume profiles, because volume profiles kind of fall into support and resistance. But you can see here, we extrapolate this volume profile, and then this value area low, the bull divs we got into this value area low, were part of the reason I entered my long that I'm in right now from about $58,000. So, yes, it can get very confusing looking at multiple profiles, but if you keep it nice and simple and you're just looking at the longer time frames, right, like that was a pretty low time frame entry, but if you're just looking like in the long term, right, this volume profile makes things very simple, right? You deviate below the low. This is where you're looking for the longs. As long as you have your confirmations, you get above that value area low, you look to go to the POC, and then eventually you look to go to your value area high. Even if you wind up playing around that POC for a little bit, you are always going to anticipate that you're likely, more often than not, you are going to get that move up to the value area high, but that is different than 100%. And I just want to show that how it plays out, right? Because once again, the volume profiles play out. And again, I don't say this to brag. I don't say this to, I don't show these screenshots from September 10th or to show like, look what we were looking for played out. I do it to show you guys and try to give you a little bit of confidence in the tools that we use and the tools that you can use to figure out where price is going to go next, because you're going to need that confidence, right? Like just using the tools and having no confidence is not going to, allow you to actually take the trades. But again, just simple play out here of the volume profile. And here we are, right? The if this then that was what if we get in the range, we're looking to eventually get up to 61 to 62K. And here we are topping out earlier today on the morning stream here at about $61,300, ending in a beautiful, topping out here on an SFP of this wick up here where we pulled up our not volume profiles, but we pulled up our liquidation heat maps, finding, for anybody who missed the stream this morning, let me go ahead and pull this up on the 3-month. See if we can run that. And you guys can see that we did have that liquidity sitting up here. It's a little, I had a different chart open, but you can see, right? Like literally the situation we were looking at on the live stream this morning where we had that SFP. And to be honest, I am looking to see if we can get a retracement here to potentially enter a short. But we did wind up getting that SFP into this area of liquidity. And, we even looked down to here saying, hey, you have that hot spot of liquidity. A lot of times you come up, you take that liquidity, and then eventually you get that move back down. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to go to zero, right? We obviously wound up continuing to the upside. But what happened, right? We came up, we took that liquidity, and now we're getting the pullback. So again, I hope you guys see this so you're able to actually apply this over time. After you watch these streams for a while, after you actually understand what you're looking at on the liquidation heat maps, etc., the volume profiles, market cipher B, all the stuff we look at here. Hopefully you kind of put this together and put it into your own context so you can actually, use this stuff yourself to make a bit of money. I think this was actually the chart we were looking at. You actually had I guess it's basically the same, right? But you come up, you take that liquidity, and you get the candlestick pattern of that SFP where you're looking for price to get above. I'll actually label this SFP real quick. Where is it? Right here, right? So you wick above that level, you come down, and not on the 3-hour. I was looking at this on the 30-minute and the 1-hour as well. You wick above it, you come back down, you close your candle below, and then as soon as you wind up confirming your next candle and that first candle closes below that SFP level, this is typically where you look for your entry to get that bigger move to the downside. So there you go, right? And that liquidation heat map just gives you the idea that there is liquidity sitting up there. I don't just pull any random wick. I don't just like look to the left and find all the different wicks. You're not always going to swing fail every wick you see, but when you have a lot of that liquidity sitting, when you have a lot of that liquidity sitting there, like oftentimes it makes it a much better level to look for the swing failure. And if you look at the heat maps, like oftentimes, like there was really no wick here that I was looking at. But anytime you have a hot spot of liquidity, oftentimes you come wash out those liquidations and then you get the reversal. And right now, the hottest point of liquidations, right, the hottest blocks of liquidity are sitting down here at about $47,500 or all the way up here at about $71,300, basically above $70,000, right? And oftentimes, not only can you look for the swing failure patterns at these levels, but these liquidation levels often act as a magnet for price, right? So it usually sucks price up to that level. We also do have somewhat a significant level here at about 65,314. This is another very, very, very key level of resistance we looked at earlier today on the morning stream. Shout out to Benjamin Wiki dropping those German short hair pointer emojis. I love it, baby. I love it. But yeah, we do have, there are some levels here, right? 65,000, you do have some liquidity, but really like the major levels are down here at 47 or up here at 70. And obviously tomorrow we are going to be having some crazy volatility with the rate cuts coming in. Now, the way I'm handling this, guys, is again, I am long from 58K right about here. I guess I can pull that up right now. Bada boom, bada bing. It's the same trade from, oh boy, same trade from earlier today. Up about almost 40%, 39%, up $1,200, got $464 locked in profit. So there you go, right? Still holding this position. I have profits taken. I also have my stop loss to entry, so this is a risk-free, guaranteed winning trade. And to be quite honest, I am going to be looking for head shorts on the way up. If we can get a little bit more of a retracement here, actually might open a starter short. I'm not saying I'm going to enter it right now or anything. Not a signal, not a trade signal, anything like that. But I am going to be looking for head shorts on the way up, especially with the swing failure of that level. And I'm going to pull up Market Cypher B in just a second. But yeah, still holding this trade. Going to see if we can get it to play out. And again, if I get stopped out, I'll get stopped out in profit. No big deal. Again, guaranteed winning trade. The only way you could guarantee winning trades here, guys, is if you move your stop loss and take profit off the table and then move your stop loss to your entry point. You can't, there's no strategy that's going to give you a guaranteed win or anything like that. It's all about risk management. But, if we look here, the question is, what are the next key levels to the upside? We took a look at the heat map. We know 65K is an area where we could have a lot of liquidity, right? So I'm going to mark that out real quick. And I'm going to talk about, why there's other actual reasons why we could look up here for some significant resistance, because we do have other key levels up there as well. But let's talk about this, right? And, again, 65K, we have the liquidity. And remember, the reason this value area high at about 61.3 was such a key level of resistance was not only because it was a value area high, and this is typically where you want to start looking for shorts, right? Especially if you deviate above, right? This is the overvalued asset. You look to return back into the range, go back to the POC, and then back to the low. But not only that, you also have the macro range sitting up here as well, with our value area low sitting again at $60,131. And then we also have the golden pocket. I'll actually clean some of this up because I don't want to confuse anybody, right? We also have the 786 golden pocket retracement. Come on. There we go. Sitting at, I'll just pull this a little bit roughly, right? 63. Let me get in there to get that pulled perfectly. Bada boom, right? 62,350, right? This, in my opinion, is one of the major levels, right? And this is what makes up that resistance zone, right? Current range, right? Very simply put, we're then, again, just looking at a larger volume profile. You deviate below the lows. Again, although that 3-day money flow does look bearish, and it does look like we could see a bigger move down, when you get down here, this is not where you want to FOMO short, right? Especially when you have high time frame green dots, the 90-minute money flow crossovers into the green, all the stuff we were looking at for this retracement up. Sure, you could be, short-term or medium-term bullish, but you have to understand that you're going to be looking at that as somewhat of a lackluster retracement to potentially put in a lower high and continue the move to the downside to our next key levels of support, which we all know are sitting. The next real key level, if we wind up breaking the lows, is going to come in at the weekly naked point of control, sitting at $47,480. These are not new levels. These are levels we've been looking at for quite some time. Shout out to Benny B. Says, how do you decide which chart you pull up your volume profiles on? Wouldn't Binance have the most volume and give you a better picture? Is it because they are the ones you trade on? Shout out to Benny B. There's kind of a bunch of different ways you can go about this. There's nothing wrong with, if you're trading on Femex, if you're trading on Blowfin. By the way, shout out to them. If you guys want to sign up and trade long or short, make money whether you're going up or down, you can check the links in the description down below, or Tony D might have pinned the Links to the top of the chat is an affiliate link, so we will get helped out. But if you like the free content, you like the free education here, you want to help out the channel, and you're looking to open up an exchange anyway, oftentimes they run deals. You can check out those links. If not, you just go to the websites. I use them because I like them, not just because we're affiliated. I'm not affiliated. I guess we're affiliates. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it really depends, right? I like to look at the Bybit chart simply because, you know, I used to trade based off the Binance chart, even the Bitstamp chart sometimes. It really depends on what you're trading, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the one thing with that is the reason I switched to Bybit is because oftentimes I just started getting front ran a lot, right? And then actually, I forget who it was. Someone brought it up like, oh, you know, I got that set up. We hit that level on the Bybit chart. We hit that level on the Bybit chart. We hit that level on the Bybit chart. I also used to trade on Bybit back in the day, yeah, I just kept getting front ran. So I was like, let me take a look at the Bybit chart because it seems like price always hits those levels on the Bybit chart. So that's why I use the Bybit chart right now. But to be quite honest with you, unless you're scalping, the differences are pretty small, right? You know, they're you know, not huge. So it really depends. There's really nothing wrong. I would probably recommend, like, if you're trading on, you trade on the exchange that you're trading on is probably the best best kind of tip. But yeah, you know, I look at many different charts, right? So I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, it really depends on what you're doing. Really, for scalping is kind of the most important reason to kind of look at the exchange that you're actually trading on. But for me, the Bybit levels just wind up getting hit. I kept getting front run on the other chart. So, but yeah, with that being said, hopefully that answers your question, bro. 200x short. Yo, shout out to Peter Post. Let's go. Throwing those Bruce Buffer emojis. Let's see. Yeah, DMB Smurf said Blowfin has some really nice trading trailing features. Yes, and they also just came out with a demo mode where you can actually practice your trading. So if you're new to trading and you want to do something like this, you want to start getting into trades and making money, whether price is going up or down, I highly recommend you start off on a demo account before you fill up a live account. And when you do fill up a live account, do not fill it with money that you can't afford to lose. But yeah, they now Femex and Blowfin both have nice demo trading features. So yeah, Blowfin has no KYC, so if you have trouble getting on other exchanges, I recommend Blowfin. But if you can get on Femex, I highly recommend both. I trade on the both. So yeah, but I don't know if everybody's all, you know, I like to have swing accounts, scalp accounts. I have 100 accounts, right? I have personal accounts, business accounts, scalp accounts, swing accounts, degen accounts. I have a ton of accounts, but I don't think everybody's in the same situation I am. But there you go. Let's see. But yeah, a lot of people have trouble with the KYC. So yeah, Blowfin, like anybody can get on Blowfin. So it's the probably the easier option. Let's see. Many thanks for the explanation. Shout out to Benny. No problem, bro. But yeah, guys, we are at that key level of resistance. It took us a real long time to get there, but we wound up seeing those signals play out, giving us that move into the key level. And the real next levels to the upside that I'm looking at for the most part, 62,350. If we can get above that level, that is where I will probably be looking up closer towards $67,000, understanding that we do have some local resistance in the way, right? We know we have those $65,000 liquidity sitting up here. And we also do have a lot of key levels sitting up there as well, right? We have some daily naked points of control up there at about 64,627. I believe we have a weekly horizontal, right? A weekly horizontal at 64,288 or 228. I'm sorry. Excuse me, a little slip of the tongue there. And then we also have a monthly horizontal. So this little zone here between about, you know, let me just make sure we don't have any other levels there. Bada boom, bada bing. No exo weeklies. Yeah, we have another daily there. So really between about, you know, 65.3 all the way down to about 64.2. Probably, if we do continue, is going to be, if we get above that 62.3 level, 65K, that whole zone is going to kind of be that next zone, right? That next major level of resistance. So I would be looking at this between 64,243 and 65,322, major level of resistance. I would actually probably drag that down just a little bit, 64,150. And then there is you know, there's some local levels. I don't even know if I'm going to bring up the local levels, to be honest, because again, like, that's the major level. I know a lot of people aren't micro scalping and stuff like that. So, you know, tomorrow, who knows what happens with the rate cuts, guys? Again, you know, I was going to pull up the historical. I was going to pull up the historical rate cuts and just kind of show you what has happened. Like, really all we can do is, like, look at what history has done. But to be quite honest, guys, I am agnostic right now. I am kind of, like, optimistically bearish, right? Like, I'm hoping we can pump. I know there's a chance that we can fake out to the upside. I'll go over that bullish case in just a second. But we have to understand that, like, I am a strictly technical trader. I talk about this all the time. And with this 3-day money flow, right, like we really need this money flow to fake out. And in order to just call for that money flow to fake out, we have to just assume that the TA is not going to play out. And like, it's not typically how it works, right? I don't just like see what the TA is saying. I don't see what the TA is saying and then counter trade it, right? I like to trade with the charts. I trade the charts in front of me knowing that they're not going to be right 100% of the time. It's why it's a game of probability, and risk management is absolutely key. You're never going to find a strategy that plays out 100% of the time. I know the volume profiles play out a lot, but they're not 100%. If you just YOLO long at the lows and YOLO short at the highs, you're not going to make money. I can almost guarantee you that. You might get lucky sometimes, but with that being said, 3-day money flow still looking bearish. 4-day money flow still looking bearish. But if we get a fake out, my kind of thought process here is, tomorrow is unpredictable. It's likely going to be crazy. Oftentimes we see big washouts at the highs, big washouts at the longs. And then, recently we've kind of just been like getting the washouts of the highs and the lows and then just kind of settling back in the middle. But who knows, right? If we get some kind of random just yeet to the upside, the key levels I'm watching are very simply put the macro range, right? If we just wind up yeeting up, like I don't know what would call for this. Because to be honest, like I'll show you the historical Fed rate cuts in a second, but get above the 62,350 level. Next major level there is POC at $67,000. Flip that POC at $67,000. Value area high at $70,593, $70,600, right? And we know that we have a lot of that liquidity sitting above 70K, right? So it wouldn't, again, I don't know. Like, nobody knows what's going to happen here. Like, it's very, very hard to call this price action. It is a downtrend, which is bearish, right? It's also a bull flag, which is bullish. Money flow is coming out on the 3-day. But this isn't typically the part of the cycle where we go into a massive bear market. So it's just very hard to call right now. So, again, I will be holding my long. I'm going to try to hedge myself with some shorts if we can get a little bit more of a retracement to the upside here. But, again, like, if you're just here, not trading, not scalping, anything like that, I'm sure a lot of you guys are trading. But if you get into that range, right, you hold it as support. 62,350 is the level to send you to 67. Flip 67, then you have a chance to go take that liquidity above $70,000. But even then, I would be very, very, very careful. Because if you're not just going to yeet up into all-time highs, which, again, the charts wouldn't necessarily call for, you could be at risk of, just getting some, grabbing that liquidity above and then just coming back into your range. This would be the worst option, in my opinion. If we got, and again, I don't know if we're going to just yeet up like 15% a day. Obviously, we've seen that happen. But, this would be the worst case. If we get a move all the way through here, get super exciting, and then we just grab liquidity above the value area high and get accepted back into the range and go back to the POC and back to the low. This would be my nightmare. I will literally have night terrors about this tonight. If this were to happen, and this would take time to happen probably, that would be the worst case, right? This would be gruelingly boring. But I think, if I had to gamble on this, right? Again, very hard to call. We could call the levels. We likely get those to play out more often than not. But shout out to Jesse, says 4-year cycle theory. Thank you for the super chat, bro. And shout out to Jesse. I do think the 4-year cycle theory has something to do with the movement of Bitcoin. But there's no doubt about it that the like Bitcoin tracks with traditional finance, right? Like Bitcoin has never been in a bull run when traditional finance is just absolutely tanking, right? We've never like gone into a recession and seen Bitcoin not just track with traditional finance. So in order, right, and again, looser monetary policy typically allows more liquidity to get injected into the economy, and it promotes those risk on assets to fly, right? Because money's cheaper, people are not promoted, people are incentivized to like invest, right, and spend money. But that is not typically, it's not like they say, hey, we're cutting rates, and then it moons, right? I've been talking about this a lot lately. And to be quite honest, again, I know about the 4-year cycle. I believe it. I do think that the supply shock definitely has something to do with the price action. We talked about this morning. But the thing is, right, until we see the traditional finance just absolutely lose it, and then Bitcoin flies, that's where you can really start to put weight on the 4-year cycle. Because in my opinion, if the stock market absolutely just dumps, not very likely that Bitcoin is just going to moon, right? That's not typically what we've seen. And it just makes sense, right? Looser monetary policy would send risk on assets to the moon. And that's what we've seen in the past, right? So, we have to see that happen, technically, we would think that we have to see that happen. And if we don't see that happen and Bitcoin moons anyway, then we could just be like, 4-year cycle is 100% what controls everything. But we can't really call that just yet, just based on the evidence. It doesn't disprove it, but it's hard to just prove it. But I do think, it's likely, not just black or white, right? It's probably somewhere in the middle. But yeah, shout out to Jesse. Absolutely. That's another thing, right? You got to take the 4-year cycle into consideration. And if you took the 4-year cycle into consideration, September, right? September ends. October is typically Uptober, right? We're past the halving. This is typically where you see things start to take off, right? So if we were to fake out and the 4-year cycle was just going to play out again like it has in the past, there is no better time to just rip up to 100K or new all-time highs than, coming up very soon, right? In the beginning of October into the end of the year. Now, I don't know if that would be the all-time high forever. I don't know. It's really hard to read right now. There's a lot of things at play right now. But yeah, I do think, right, like it's likely going to be like this. When we look back at this in 6 months, or maybe not 6 months, but like 2 months, like once we get the resolution of this outcome, I think it's either going to look something like this, right? It's either going to look like this, right, off into new all-time highs, but it's going to be a little bit of a washer machine. It's going to be a little pump and dump, and then rip it, right? Even if we came down a little lower into the 40s. Or I think it's either just going to be up and to the right? Like it's the 4-year cycle would kind of call for something like this, but the charts, in my opinion, and with how rate cuts typically affect price immediately, it would look something more like that. So these are kind of the two scenarios on the table. It could go up, it could go down. Please, for the love of God, I hope it doesn't go sideways. That would be more brutal than a big dump, in my opinion. So yeah. That's what I'm looking at. And I do just want to bring up really quickly, guys. Let me bring up the historical Fed rate, or the historical rate cuts here. This wasn't working before. Okay, now it's working. So yeah, if we come on down here, right, just to kind of show this, let me collapse the object tree. Bada boom, right? So, shout out to Jason Casper. Let's go, baby. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for that super chat. Thank you for tuning in, bro. He said, I'm so excited for tomorrow. I won't be able to sleep. Or if I do, I'll be dreaming about a JP coming out the closet with some juicy rate cuts. Shout out to Jason Casper. Yo, bro, what do you think? Okay, Jason, let me ask you, bro. Do you think it would be an instant reaction, right? And I'm going to take a look at this right now. It would be hard. It would be hard. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Like I have no problem when I do not know or have a strong conviction on what is going to happen. I'm happy sitting in the middle, right? Long from 58K. I'm going to try to hedge myself with some shorts if we continue up, or if I can get a little retracement up here. I'd like to grab one up here. But I'm going to hold the long, stop loss at my entry point, profit taken, risk-free trade, and we'll just see what happens. I don't know. It's hard to read, in my opinion. Like 3-day money flow looks kind of gross. I don't know. Not a bad time for that money flow to fake out. I really don't know. So, yeah, level to level for me right now. Level to level for me. But if we come back here, guys, this is actually pretty interesting, right? So, if we come back, pull up the weekly just to make it a little bit more palatable. It won't let us pull it up on the weekly. That's trash. Okay, well, if we look here, right? In 2018 and 2020, right, we essentially had rate cuts. The interest rates were coming up, right? They were raising interest rates, and it was basically just bear market, right? Just grind down, right? And then we got that bear market rally. We got the bear market rally of, I think, like 350% about. Yeah, like 350%. And then finally, they started cutting rates, right? And if we are in a situation like this, in my own personal opinion, let's see. Shout out to Jason that, whoa, there's an indicator for that. Yeah, I actually found this like 2 days ago because I was like, I kept like trying to mark it out, and then I kept deleting them, and I was like, let me see if there's an indicator. And yeah, it's called, if you want to check it out, Jason, it's it's just called historical Fed interest rate. So there you go, and it pops them up like that. Super, super convenient. I wish I found this a while ago. But let's see. So yeah, this is So yeah, right, rate cuts, I mean, keep saying rate cuts. They raise the rates, consistent bear market, right? Then we bottom out. We get this massive kind of rise, right? We get this little mini bull market, right? And then finally, we start getting the rate cuts. And what happens, right? This is oftentimes where people are like, oh my God, we're going to $1 million, right? Oh my God, the bull market's going to continue. They cut the rates, get a little pump, and then a dump. And then it goes sideways, another cut, and then a dump. And then we rip into another cut and then another dump, right? And then we kind of creep back up and then you get the 50 basis points, and then a massive dump. And again, like this area is a little bit harder, right? Because this is very black swanny. It's kind of hard to take away, not the best place to compare, but just to kind of show that, right? Like it's not like they cut rates and we just break all new all-time highs, right? Or like even get a huge, massive pump. It kind of just, pumps and dumps and just gets really volatile, right? We see a lot of that volatility. And then eventually, and again, we are in a little bit different place in the cycle, right? This was before the halving. So again, like there's no real apples to apples comparison here. Like we can't look back in history and compare this to something that is exactly the same. It's almost impossible. So, again, like we just have to take this information for what it's worth, right? And then you come out all the way back here, which again is a completely different situation, and we were just in a bull market while they were raising rates. So it's really hard to call, and I don't recommend, and this kind of lines up with 2018 a little bit more, right? You kind of raise the rates. Bear market, raise the rates, bear market, raise the rates, bear market, and then we start to get the little pump to the upside, right? And then maybe we start to get those cuts again, and people are expecting moon, and it kind of just, pumps and dumps and kind of goes sideways, and then eventually, maybe there's a black swan again, I don't know, who knows, but then you wind up getting that big move a little later on. But again, the cycles don't line up timing-wise in that case. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't line up here, so it's like, it's really not a good way to compare, in my opinion. It's information we could take into account, put it into our kind of arsenal of information to help us make our decisions. But yeah, not necessarily trying to bet the farm. I would just be very careful tomorrow, guys. And this is why. But, from a strictly technical perspective and what I look for, again, like even yesterday, right, we had the daily red dot, and we just got instantly flipped green, right, which was good for the scalp long that I took yesterday. But it's very choppy. It just shows how choppy it can be. So definitely kind of sitting on my hands here, right? I'm in a risk-free trade. I don't mind getting stopped out in profit. No big deal. But I am not gonna, we'll play that chop a little bit. But it's very hard to just confidently call, guys, we're gonna cut rates and go to all-time highs, or guys, we're gonna cut rates and go to 40K. Those are definitely, hard to call. Like I've been saying here. So I just can't wait for the resolution here. So we'll see. Hopefully, maybe they do just cut rates, and maybe we do. We're going to look back in hindsight and be like, that was the first time they cut rates and we just mooned. Or maybe that happens. I really think anything's on the table here. But those are the key levels. If you get a big drop and things start to get really scary and we really start breaking lows here, 47.5 is that next key level of support, and then into the 40,000s are those next levels, right? Weekly naked point of control at 47,480, and then the $40,000 naked value area down here, bada boom. That's going to be kind of that next major zone, and then to be honest, we don't want to lose that level. We start losing that level, things get a little bit of suspicious, and then that we don't want to. We do not want that. But anyway, there we go, guys. That is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin for the most part, and then locally here. Man, I'm like hoping for a retracement here. I don't know if we're going to get it, though. And I don't want to FOMO short here, to be quite honest with you. But right now, like locally, if I pull up the or pull off the higher time frames and just take a look at the local volume profile, within the laws of the volume profile, I will say this, right? We got the flip of the low, move to the POC, move to the high. That played out beautifully. We're now at the high with the SFP, grabbing that liquidity that we just looked at on the heat map. And then if we get that continued drop, kind of what I'm looking at here is 2-hour bearish divergence is now confirmed. Again, I don't know how confident I feel about this stuff just because things are going to be volatile very soon. But you do have that 2-hour bearish divergence that did give us that pullback from the value area high with that swing failure pattern. But the one thing here, 2-hour red dot, 3-hour looking to print a red dot and a bearish divergence as well with your higher highs on price, lower highs on your momentum waves. And then that 4-hour VWAP is also starting to work its way down. Now, with that being said, we also have low time frame money flow, such as the 15-minute red dot money flow coming out, right? So if we get that 15-minute money flow, it's a 12-minute money flow coming out, 10-minute money flow about to cross over into the red. If we see these low time frame money flows start to cross over into the red with the 2, the 3, the 4-hour red dots, we could see these money flow crossovers on the low time frames begin a bigger move to the downside. And then if we do continue down, key levels I'll be watching, value POC at 59,183, and then we start losing that, could potentially get a bigger move down to the value area low. And that's kind of the more higher time frame levels. But that's for the most part what I'm looking at. So if we get that 15-minute money flow crossover with that 4-hour red dot, that would kind of be my main signal to look for a bigger move to the downside. But again, be careful out there, guys. Be careful out there. Hedge yourself. Please, for the love of God, use a stop loss and hedge yourself. But yeah. Let's see. Bada boom. Almost school holidays for spring break. Hey, let's go. Let's see. So yeah, if you guys want to see some of your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We'll keep an eye on Bitcoin here locally throughout the stream. But go ahead and drop those altcoins in the chat right now. Yeah, and shout out to Eugene Sky. Shout out Jason saying I would rather 25 basis points. That's the other thing too. It's kind of a toss-up, right? Because if they cut by 50 basis points, it could be looked at as like panicky, right? Like, oh my God, we didn't cut soon enough. Now we got to kind of rush into things. It could be a hard landing. And that could wind up spooking the market, right? And then 25 basis points wouldn't be as like bullish, right? I don't trade news, right? Or I don't trade based off news. If that makes sense. Yeah, no black swan, Frankie. Shout out to Mad Ads. Yeah, I hope not. You can't predict a black swan, right? So, like, I wouldn't be, like, trying to, like, sit there and be like, well, we got to expect the black swan. You can't predict a black swan. Nobody thought 2020 was going to happen. So, yeah, definitely I would not recommend trying to do that. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Jason Casper. It says, J-Powell is a grindcore drummer playing blast beats at 50 PPS. Yo, shout out to Jason, bro. Oh God, but yeah, I will see, and I think maybe 50 basis points could potentially, and again, maybe we get like a little pump, like we've seen that in the past with the rate cuts. Like you either pump into them or you pump on the news, but oftentimes you get a bigger pullback. But we'll see. I'll be here. I will be here to go over it with you guys, and we'll see the resolution. We don't know what's gonna happen, but I am excited to watch it actually play out. That is for sure, especially if it pumps and that 58K long winds up giving us a bigger move. But yeah, let's see. All news dumps Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, hey, same thing. And I said this with the we talk about this with the ETF approval. Same thing, right? We covered this like a lot. 100K. Like we were coming into the golden pocket retracement and the macro POC. Right, and I'm not going to show the levels because I showed them a ton of times, right? But we were waiting for this to be key resistance, right? We were looking for that pump from where was it? It was like right here, looking for that pump from 30K up to 48 to 50K, and we hit that 48K POC golden pocket and POC confluence, and we were like, there we go, target hit, and that's where everyone comes in and says 100K. Now again, we pulled back 20%. Did it wind up being bullish for Bitcoin? Absolutely, right? That's what we expected. But the sell the news event was like low-key kind of obvious there, in my opinion. But again, there was a case to break out there as well. You just never know what's going to happen. We literally are playing a game that most people lose for very good reason, right? It's like it's very hard to predict what the market's going to do, even though we do it a lot on this channel, and TA can definitely help you. But it is hard, right? You have to expect your TA to get stepped on sometimes. But let's see. Yeah, ETH got wrecked after the ETF. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. 100. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you. He says, hello, Frankie. That's it. What's up, Mr. 100? What's going on, bro? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. What time is FOMC? 2 p.m. Let's see. Shout out to Goldavelli. He said, yo, can we get a live stream when the news drops tomorrow? Yeah, Goldavelli, I will. I live stream some of the FOMCs, and I'll live stream tomorrow, just because it's a big one. A bunch of them in the past have been like pretty lackluster. But yeah, I'll do an FOMC live stream for you guys tomorrow. Absolutely. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Pin my next comment. I got you, brother. I got you. Bada boom, bada bing. And the reason I'm actually down to stream FOMC tomorrow just because I think if there's going to be one that's going to be massive, I think it's going to be this one. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'm in a long and a short by tomorrow. So, if one gets stopped out, maybe we can get the other one to play out. Let's see. Peace Walker said, Frankie can't walk on water, but he can swim through the charts. Yo, shout out to Peace Walker. Let's go. I appreciate you, bro. All right, let's go ahead and see. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at ETH or Ethereum, as your grandmother might call it. Let's pull up this ETH chart just because it's more current. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and pull up some of the TA here. That's not it. It's our larger value area, current range. Yeah, kind of interesting, right? Like Ethereum never made it back up here, right? Like kind of in an interesting position, right? Like Bitcoin's like all the way up at this macro range low. Ethereum never made that move. Yeah, so this is kind of the volume profile that I'm looking at right now, right? Deviated above the high, got accepted back into the range, got the move to the POC and the value area low, held the low, back above the POC. Key level here remains exactly the same. POC sitting at 22.46 is going to be your key level of support. Remain above that. We can look for the value area high potentially, especially because we've already gotten a full rotation of this profile, right? So if we continue up, major level of resistance, 25.60. Now, we do have some other levels. We actually already rejected this daily, which wound up giving us a fresh daily, almost in the same exact spot. Yo, shout out to Investment Time. Said, Jason Casper, I love you, brother, for 500 USD. I was in Jason. Shout out to anybody who was in Jason's stream. I was in there earlier while he was giving the $500. Investment Time. Was that you? Let's go. Congrats, bro. Shout out to Jason Casper. Generous man. Let's see. Yeah, guys, go check out Jason. I assume a lot of people already subbed to Jason, but if you're not, go check out Jason. He's got one of the most fire live streams on YouTube. If I could say that, he's literally got one of the most fire live streams. Every time I check in there and I drop in chat, he's got me cracking up, bro. He's like rapping. I came in one time. He was like, he's like singing, rapping. He's hilarious and trading like an absolute savage. In my opinion, Jason is, in my opinion, like probably one of the best traders and like most exciting traders to watch on YouTube for sure. Shout out to Jason. I don't know if he's still here, but shout out to him. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and he has a plunger too. Shout out to French Toaster. What the heck does that even mean? But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on here. 1:30. Yeah, it's usually at 1:30. Someone said 2. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. So yeah, we got the daily up here. If we do continue on, local resistance probably going to come in at that daily. I'd probably pull this fib as well. Yeah, confluence with that daily and golden pocket retracement. So local resistance on Ethereum probably going to come in here between about 24.23 and 24.43. And then we also have the 786 sitting closer to 2,500. Value area high at 2,550. So, you know, this is kind of the range I'd be watching. If we're anywhere near here tomorrow, if we get a big rip to the upside, these are probably going to be the levels to watch. If we get a rip to the downside, that value area low is going to be absolutely key. One more time, coming in at 21.48. So there you go. That is what I'd be looking at. Wait, what is I'm lost on the plunger? What is when he starts rapping in the in the plunger BTC pumps? Oh, does he have a plunger as a microphone? No way. No way. Oh God. That's I'm lost on the plunger. It sounds like I'm waiting for it. I don't know. It sounds like he uses it on a microphone. That's hilarious. If that's the case, I might be making that up, but if that's the case, that's epic. But yeah, let's see here. So those are the key levels on Ethereum, to be quite honest with you, right? Like, there's not really too much to update there. 16-hour green dot printing here with our 1-hour money flow looking pretty good. Same thing on Bitcoin here. You know, one reason why, you know, one hour money flow crossing over into the green with our confirmed 16-hour green dot. Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, it looks sketchy here. Like that would make me call for more upside. But I think with the news tomorrow, anything is possible. Anything is possible tomorrow, so I'm not leaning too heavily here on any super strong predictions. But let's see. That's Ethereum. Let's go ahead and jump into XRP, one of our crowd favorites here. Let me pull it up on the live stream chart. Bada boom, bada bing. Here it is. So yeah, still, I mean, to be honest, like a lot of these altcoins are still in the same situation. Right, we got a little volatility on Bitcoin here today, but holding the POC, right? And in my opinion, value area low, value area high. Rejected value area high, went to the POC. If we lose that POC, I'd be looking down to the 786 in the value area low between 47 and 45 cents, right? If we wind up breaking out major key levels of support for XRP, right? Like, and I feel like we're getting ready. I feel like a lot of people are like prepping for tomorrow to start the bull run to 100K. I don't know about that, right? I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. But the charts would just have to get stepped on, which is possible. Again, agnostic right now. I am optimistically neutral. Optimistically neutral. I'm in a long. That doesn't mean I'm only bullish, though. So keep that in mind. But, major key levels of resistance, like these are the only levels you need on your XRP chart, in my opinion, to the upside. 61 to 62 cents. Break above that, it opens up a slight doorway to higher prices to 67 to 68 cents. 68 cents is the level that you need to get above in order to see the massive moves, right? The big, big, big moves up to 83 cents, right? Flip that 83 cent level, you can get a move to the upside closer to $1. But if we get the move to the downside, right, that is likely going to be a move down to about 45 cents. If we lose 45 cents, which may or may not be possible, weekly naked point of control and monthly naked point of control right on top of each other here at 36 cents. Those are the major levels you need to have in mind. 45 cents, 47 cents, POC at 51, value area high at 2, value area high and value area low. Forget the names of what they're called. 62 to 68 cents. 68 cents is the real doorway to higher prices. There's a reason we label them doorway to higher prices. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bing. Shout out to Harry, said, geez, this guy is so bearish. Like, putting those supports since 2023, like example, not reality though. Yeah, I mean, it's an if this, then that statement, right? I am bullish on crypto over the long term, right? But people also called me, people said the same thing, right? Here's the thing. Who said it? Shout out to Harry. I'm not hating on you at all, bro. I'm just trying to help you out. Everybody said that I was super bearish, right? Well, not everybody. Like, we had like 2 people come to the chat, but they're like, oh my God, this guy's so bearish. But I always like to catch these to try to help, right? I want to help. Though I am not bearish, obviously the 3-day money flow is coming out, right? These lower levels are not out of the question. It doesn't mean that I'm calling for those levels, right? I'm not calling for Bitcoin to go to 47K, right? Or 47.5. But it is definitely not impossible, right? So by just looking up and calling for higher prices, right? Like when we came up here, everybody was super bullish. We were looking for a lower high. Not that I didn't think it was impossible to get a move up, but we knew based off the TA, it was much more likely to reject the fib levels with the money flow coming out and put in a lower low. What happened? We got the drop to the downside. Those people who were like, why is this guy so bearish? Were probably biting themselves and entering longs at the top. And again, this is not hate to you. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if you trade at all. But same thing here. Oh my God, we're going to 100K. Why is this guy looking down to 51 to 52K? We get the dump to not only 51 to 52, but 49K, right? And now we've just put in another retracement at the same exact level, the golden pocket, 786 of this last move to the downside, right? That's exactly where we got that retracement from. And that could potentially, with money flow coming out, doesn't mean we can't pump a little bit, right? But the TA would say that we could, right? Not a guarantee, not 100%, but we could. If we get the rejection, that next move could be to 47.5 or down to the 40,000s, right? Not a guarantee, though. I'm never calling for a level. It's always an if this, then that statement, right? My bullish case, right? My bullish case, and I'm a trader, right? That might not be for people who like read the news. They're just like perma bulls because they could just always call for up and eventually it'll wind up happening. But I try to prepare everybody for multiple moves, right? Because you can make money on the way down and on the way up. So pretty much, right? My bullish case, right? I'll give you a little bit of a hopium here, right? If we flip 62,350. I assume you weren't here in the beginning of the stream. That's why I'm repeating this. If we get the 62,350 flip, right, that's where we look up to 67K, right? You flip the 67K level, that's where you can look up to 70K, right? And then once you clear out that liquidity and you don't get the liquidity grab, that's where you could start calling for all-time highs, right? But until we flip that 786, the lower high is not going to be invalidated. We have to invalidate the idea of that lower high. If we got the retracement here, right? And we flipped this 786, it would have invalidated the lower high, but it didn't. So we looked for the move down, and we got it, right? So not just permanent, not just bearish for no reason, right? There's always a reason behind why I'm either looking for a move up or a move down, and I'm always bullish and bearish at the same time because I'm a trader, right? It really depends on it really means it depends, right? It depends on your goals, right? But I can't sit here and say there's a 100% chance of a rip to the upside. No one can, right? So yeah, flip 786. That's where I'd look for the bigger move up. But if we get the rejection, that's where we could see things turn out a little bit more bearish. One other thing, something just simply that you could visualize, right? We also need this money flow to come back into the green, right? So, if we were going to look for this range to get a massive breakout to the upside, you would literally want this. I showed this on the morning stream today. You would literally need it to be upside down, right? You need money flow to be in the red, looking for the crossover into the green, right? But we literally have the opposite here. Now, again, with the rate cuts, with where we are in the cycle, coming into like mid-September, towards the end of September, I am kind of neutral, right? I wouldn't even really put a super high bias. The only reason I would lean towards, or not even lean bearish, but be very careful on the retracements is because of money flow, right? And they called it move every single time, but that's only going to be right until it's not. And that's why I remain agnostic on the market. So there you go. Shout out to Crate. C said check premium chat for Jason and his plungers latest post. Shout out to Crate. I'll pull that up after the altcoins. I will pull that up because I personally want to see that. But thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I'll pull it up when we're done with these altcoins, which next is FTM. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yo, shout out to Mark Dutch said premium. Okay. Thanks for sharing with the plebs plungers too. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Yo, you are not a pleb, Mark. You are not a pleb. You're the furthest thing from a pleb, my friend. All right, let's see. But yeah, locally, I mean, I am long, right? Like that's the thing too. It's like, how am I bearish if I'm in a long, right? It's just like, it's too hard. It's like too, it's too, it's like are you bullish or bearish? It's like such a loaded question. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at FTM. Or FTM, as some people call it. Take a sip of the just regular water today. Let's see. All right, let's get rid of this local profile. So yeah, ooh. Could call that a head and shoulders, I guess. If you were to look at this as a pattern, not that I would trade based off it, but it could be good for directional bias. I mean, hey, that would bring you back up to the macro value area high, but you got a whole lot of work to get up there. I don't know if I would. I'll be honest, like some of the altcoins actually have better looking money flow than Bitcoin. But next key level on Phantom or FTM, I would be looking at value area low to the weekly naked point of control between 63 and 65 cents. Right? That would be just basically the next little area I'd look for, right? And then this would also be your doorway, this whole box, right? I'm going to label it on the value area low, but it's really the whole box, right? This would be your doorway to higher prices. Bada boom, right? So if we get up here and we're able to flip this level, sure, you have a bunch of local levels, but that would open the door up to your POC and potentially your value area high. Again, not calling for this to happen. It's an if this, then that. This is going to be absolutely key resistance until proven otherwise. But hopefully the rate cuts tomorrow can just moon us, right? And maybe the altcoins will just wind up getting the bottom and coming right back up. Because I'll be honest, right? Like with these altcoins, like a lot of these altcoins, not FTM necessarily, but like a lot of these altcoins, if they make another low, like they're going to be making new all-time lows. Or new cycle lows, I should say. Some of them may be new all-time lows. But yeah, this, locally, 4-hour money flow. I mean, you got the bear div. VWAP looking to print. Red dot looking to print. Could be a little pullback. But money flow is pretty thick in the green. So I wouldn't necessarily make that look for a massive dump, but I would just look more for a pullback. 6-hour money flow crossover into the green. Also, you got some bear divs up here. I mean, could pull back. But 8-hour fresh money flow crossover into the green. Here's the bullish case for Bitcoin in simple terms, just looking at money flow. It's the 10-hour money flow crossover. If we're going to see Bitcoin go to 70K, this is what I would say would call the move. 10-hour money flow crosses over into the green. Why do I say that? Well, because we have that weekly green dot printing, right? Weekly green dot prints. 10-hour money flow crosses over into the green. That would actually look pretty good, right? And then if we got that, then hopefully it's not something like this, where it crosses into the green, we just get the massive dump again. But if it crosses over into the green decisively, that could give you a continuation to the upside, and then eventually maybe that could get the 2-day and 3-day green money flow to cross back over into the green. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, let's take a look at FTM. But yeah, that's going to be the key, really the next key levels on FTM. A 4-hour bear div, got your higher highs, lower highs, could give you the bigger move down, right? Right? But not, I wouldn't really look for it to go to zero, right? I would be looking for a potential retracement depending on, not just looking at this level and blindly longing when it gets down there or if it gets down there, but yeah, it's you got this naked value area as well. Pretty good confluence there. So yeah, like maybe you get a pull back into the 51 to 47 cent range. But yeah, I wouldn't be looking for that 4-hour bear div to absolutely break down. Because, with everything else, with the 10-hour money flow, yeah, I would like to let these VWAPs reset, right? Like let the higher hourly time frames kind of print the red dots. But money flow here, especially on the 10-hour, crossing over into the green. Weekly green dot confluence isn't there. But yeah, a 10-hour money flow crossover could just be continuation to the upside, right? Money flow indicates the longer-term trend, right? So there you go. All right, let's see. Shout out to Jesse. Already took that long, baby. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Wick's wife, Fine89. Shouting out Dr. Crimson's girlfriend in the official CandleMafia cheerleader. Let's go. Shout out to Wick's wife, Fine89. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Oh, shout out to Mark Dutch said, Dave always used to pump up the likes, but I guess his promotion got him way beyond the crowd work. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Yo, you guys are funny, man. All right, let's see. FTM is going to be the best altcoin this bull market. Hey, I'm bullish. I'm pretty bullish on FTM. All right, let's go ahead and continue on and take a look at AVAX or AVOX, as some people call it. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, daily red dot. Maybe you get the VWAP flip. Yeah, I mean, locally. Whoops. Locally, I will say, come on. Why can I not select all this? There we go. Ugh. Stop trolling me, TradingView. Stop trolling me. All right, whatever. I'll just hide it all individually. Bada boom. All right, so if we wind up getting... Yeah, I mean, this isn't the biggest profile, but, this is kind of your key level. This is the same. We looked at AVAX yesterday, I think. If we get a move into this range, you could get the move up to 28.59. But really, to be quite honest with you, like, the market is always seeking balance, right? Market is always seeking fair value, right? So you have fair value here, fair value here. So we look for price to go retrace into these zones, right? So if we get a move up, this fair value is likely to get respected. If we get the move back up here, this fair value would be the next level to look at, right? And you could probably split this up into smaller ranges, such as this one right here, right? So if we do come up, those are going to be local levels you want to look at. But over the grand scheme of things, like on the higher time frames, like your real key level that you want to get above, your doorway to higher prices is going to be sitting right here at about 31.38 is going to be the level. So there you go. That is what I'd look at for AVAX. And then other than that, red dot printed on the 3-hour, maybe you pull back locally. I am not really trying to make huge calls on this stuff the day before FOMC. This thing's either going to absolutely rip, absolutely dump, or just chop. So it's kind of unpredictable going into tomorrow. But if that 4-hour red dot starts to print, if we get a move down, that 15-minute money flow, already in the red here. Let's see, 24-minute, 30-minute. Kind of hard to say here. Very choppy, very choppy. But yeah. Those are the key levels I'd look at. 24.81 up to 25.84 up to 28.67. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and check. That is the last altcoin. I'll take an honorable mention here. It is going to be, let's see, scroll up a bit here. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Man, I got to scroll up here. Shout out to Crypto Anon, says XXX. Woo. Thinking about XRP. Let's see. What are we looking at here? Someone drop an altcoin in the chat. Somebody drop a dang altcoin in the chat. Jupiter. We looked at Link on the morning stream. Shout out to Ping. If you want to check out that stream, we did look at Link. You could kind of scrub through it. But yeah, we'll check out Jupiter. We haven't taken a look at this in a little while. Let's see. 10-hour red dot printing. Daily red dot confirmed. No blood diamond. You get a short signal here on Market Cipher. Yeah, 4-hour red dot. I'd like something like this. I mean, this is very speculative. Very unlikely that you could just call these moves. We do it sometimes. Not a trade signal. But if we did get another little drop down here, and we did wind up getting a bull div on the 4-hour, something like that, that could be something I'd be interested in if we get some other confirmations, right? I wouldn't just come down here and long it off tapping the golden pocket. But if we, we did front run that golden pocket. Actually, let me double check this real quick. Yeah. So we did front run that golden pocket slightly. And, with these golden pockets, I'm probably going to be releasing that second video in the beginner series, probably going to be on Fibonacci kind of intro. You're looking for these retracements to come on down, and you're looking for bullish entry triggers on those golden pocket retracements, right? And if we were to put in a 4-hour bull div, technically I would look for other stuff as well on the lower time frames. But that 4-hour bull div, in hindsight, may be the thing that gives you a little bit bigger of a push up. But you got to print that 4-hour red dot, right? Which is not quite printing just yet, but it could be on the way. 3-hour red dot is printing. Blood diamond is there, confirmed. So maybe you get that push down. So that zone here would be kind of the zone I would like to bounce off of if we don't want to see lower here on Jupiter. I would like to see 70 to 68 cents hold with those potential bullish divergences. I even give away a little confirmation. But money flow coming out pretty nasty here on the 4-hour. I mean, on 3-hour, I'm sorry. 4 hours kind of thick in the green, though. 1 hour coming up. It's choppy out there, baby. I'm remaining agnostic here. Like I said, 1 hour money flow crossover into the green on Bitcoin. 10-hour money flow crossover into the green on Bitcoin with the weekly green dot would be bullish, but the 3-day money flow is kind of bearish. Remember, that 3-day money flow does not mean instant down, right? We could even come up here and put in some more highs before getting a bigger rejection without that money flow on the higher time frames getting rejected. So hopefully we could just rip up here, guys, see that money flow fake out and get a bigger move to the upside and dodge those bearish money flows on the higher time frames. But just, you don't have to base your decisions off them. Just don't forget that bearish money flow is looming. So there you go, guys. And with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for sticking around till the end of the stream and hanging out with us here. Can we take a look at Flare Network, maybe on the fake out. Maybe we'll take a look at Flare on the fake out. But with all that being said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And probably will live stream FOMC tomorrow as well. As long as the schedule, I think we will be able to do that. But shout out to Manitoire, shout out to XRP, XPR88, shout out to Creighton C, Rigo, Kate Diggity, Mike Mason. What time for the rate cuts? I believe 1:30 is when those rate cuts happen. We'll try to get the live stream up and scheduled ahead of time so you guys can put the notifications on. Put notifications on so when we put it up, you'll get notified about it. But yeah, love your work. Shout out to Scott Miller. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Long still in profit here. We'll see if we can hold it up for a little bit more profit. And I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. I love each and every single one of you, Mafia. I'll see you guys next time. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look, what's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the f is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up. whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same. I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right. I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life. I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
And there he is in all of his glory with the plunger. I still don't get the plunger. Is it like a hanging microphone and he's like rapping into the hanging microphone? I don't know. But shout out to Jason and his plunger. And shout out to Crane C for dropping that picture. But we're going to check out Flare here, guys. Am I looking at the right thing, Flare? I think this is it. I don't know much about this coin. So hopefully this is the right chart. Yikes. Hopefully this is right. Let's see. Is Bitcoin a good stock? Shout out to the Dusty Hunt. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, Bitcoin is the best stock out there. But yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I think this is the right Flare. But this is like, I don't know. This is yeah, Bitstamp. Yeah, that's about all the price action we got. I'll be honest with you. You don't really have much support down here, other than what we're bouncing on here, right? You got a monthly level here. Yeah, you got a monthly here at, 0.01046, but not, yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah, you don't really got much here. That monthly is going to be absolutely, critical to hold. But yeah, I don't know. Watch that monthly. Daily. Yeah, I don't know. This thing doesn't look great, to be honest with you. Let's see. Is this holding a fib? Yeah, no, I don't know. You lost to 786. I'd be careful with this. I'd be very careful with this. Kind of hard to, like, pull up significant support and resistance here. Like, that daily, that monthly here, with this high volume node, between 0.012 and about 0.010. These are key levels. And if you lose this, I'll say this, your doorway to lower prices could be this. Is it a weekly? No, it's probably a daily, though. Yeah, you don't want to lose this daily. This daily right here. You lose this daily, you are probably going to get a very quick move to the downside. And that is sitting, let me label it for you. Yeah, like that is sitting right on the low volume gap, right? So very simply put, lose that daily. Come on. There we go. Lose that daily. Pretty low volume gap. Could start the quick move down to your next zone between 11.99 all the way to 10.46. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. Quick and dirty on the Flare. Hopefully that was the right coin. I don't even know if it was. But with all that being said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. FOMC and on this stream. I'll see you guys next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know, on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on the roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor.